In global aviation, some aircraft are built for profit, others are built for strategy, and few aircraft represent strategic aviation better than Russia's legendary Ilyushin Il-96. For years, many people believed the Il-96 was finished, a four-engine widebody in a world dominated by efficient twin-engine giants like the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and Airbus A350 looked outdated. Airlines wanted lower fuel burn, fewer engines, and better economics. The Il-96 seemed like a relic of another era. But then Russia made a move that shocked the aviation world. Instead of quietly abandoning the program, Moscow pushed forward with the Il-96-400M, restarted production efforts, expanded factory infrastructure, and began talking about future possibilities involving powerful, next-generation engines like the PD-35. And suddenly, the question changed. It was no longer why keep the Il-96 alive, it became what exactly is Russia planning? Because this is not just about one airplane. This is about national aerospace survival, and Boeing definitely did not expect this kind of long-term strategy. Let's begin with the reality. The Il-96 is Russia's only domestically developed, long-range, wide-body passenger aircraft. That alone makes it important. Wide-body aircraft are not easy to build. They require advanced aerodynamics, high-thrust engines, complex certification systems, and industrial coordination at the highest level. Only a few countries on Earth can sustain that capability. Lose it once, and rebuilding it can take decades. That is why the Il-96 matters. Even if it does not compete directly with Boeing or Airbus in global airline sales, it protects something more important: industrial capability. Russia understands that clearly. The latest version, the Il-96-400M, was designed as a stretched and modernized variant with updated onboard systems, a two-pilot cockpit concept, and improved domestic component integration, but it still keeps the traditional four-engine layout using PS-98 engines. That immediately creates criticism, because the world has moved toward twin-engine long-haul aircraft. Four engines usually mean higher fuel burn, higher maintenance costs, and weaker airline economics. And critics are right about that. Compared to the Boeing 787 or Airbus A350, the Il-96 is less efficient for normal commercial airline competition. But that misses the real purpose. Russia is not trying to win a direct sales war against Boeing tomorrow. It is trying to avoid losing the entire wide-body industrial chain. That is a very different mission, and that mission explains the shocking move. According to reports, Russia completed another new Il-96 wide-body aircraft in 2026 at the Voronezh-Vaso facility, signaling renewed production activity after years of limited output. UAC confirmed the aircraft had entered final painting stages and would soon go to a new customer. That may sound small, but in aerospace, keeping a production line alive is everything. Engines, avionics, structures, testing infrastructure, skilled engineers. If production stops completely, the entire ecosystem begins to disappear. Restarting later becomes far harder than maintaining slow production now. That is why Vaso is also expanding runway infrastructure, specifically connected to Il-96 operations. Reports confirm runway modernization is directly tied to wide-body production and future aviation projects. This is not symbolic spending. This is industrial commitment. And that is where Boeing probably did not expect the real game. Because Boeing competes with aircraft, Russia is protecting capability. Those are different battles. Now let's talk about the market problem. One major issue is that the Il-96 does not have strong airline demand in normal commercial operations. Some reports showed that the Il-96-400M certification program slowed significantly, with no flights since late 2025 for the main test aircraft, and analysts suggesting domestic airlines preferred waiting for access to Boeing aircraft rather than committing to the Il-96. That sounds bad, and honestly, it is. For pure airline economics, the Il-96 struggles. Even aviation experts openly admit that passenger operations are difficult to justify because the aircraft is less profitable compared to modern twin-engine alternatives. One expert directly stated, "For passenger transportation, we understand that the Il-96 is unprofitable." That is the harsh truth. But again, commercial profitability is only part of the story. Government transport, strategic state missions, military logistics support, diplomatic operations, and national resilience create a different value system. For example, the Il-96 remains important for the Special Flight Detachment Russia, including government and presidential transport roles. New aircraft deliveries strongly suggest that state-use demand remains one of the program's key anchors. This is where strategy beats profit, because not every aircraft must maximize airline margins. Some aircraft exist because nations cannot afford not to have them. That is exactly what the Il-96 has become. Now let's discuss the biggest future move, the PD-35 engine. This is where things get truly interesting. The current Il-96 still relies on 4 PS-90 engines, but Russian officials and aviation experts have discussed the possibility of adapting the airframe concept around the future PD-35 high-thrust engine program. The PD-35 is Russia's next-generation 35-ton thrust-class turbofan designed for future wide-body aircraft and heavy transports. If such an engine becomes fully operational, it could support a new twin-engine wide-body concept based on lessons learned from the Il-96 platform. But experts are clear. Installing PD-35 would not simply upgrade the Il-96. It would effectively require building a new aircraft from scratch, with new aerodynamics, new wing design, and a completely different structure. That sounds expensive, because it is. But it also reveals the long-term strategy. Keep the Il-96 alive today, preserve wide-body capability, maintain high-thrust engine production knowledge, then transition toward a next-generation domestic twin-engine platform later. That is smart, and that is likely the real move Boeing did not expect. Not an immediate challenge, but a survival bridge toward the future. Some analysts even describe the Il-96 program as less about building a 787 competitor and more about preventing the collapse of Russia's wide-body ecosystem entirely. That is a much deeper industrial strategy. Even YouTube aviation communities discussing the Il-96 comeback often focus on the same idea, not dominance, but survival of strategic capability. Even YouTube aviation communities discussing the Il-96 comeback often focus on the same idea, not dominance, but survival of strategic capability. That perspective matters because it changes how we judge success. If the goal is beating Boeing's sales, the Il-96 struggles. If the goal is preserving sovereign aerospace capability, the Il-96 becomes extremely valuable. And this matters globally, because countries like China are also pursuing wide-body independence through their own long-term aviation programs. Wide-body aircraft are not just transport machines, they are geopolitical assets. They represent engine power, industrial confidence, and strategic independence. That is why every major aerospace nation wants one. Boeing and Airbus dominate because they control that level of aviation. Russia refuses to fully leave that club, even if the economics are painful, even if production is slow, even if the aircraft itself looks old-fashioned. Because once the capability disappears, rebuilding it later may become impossible. That is the true fear, and that is why Russia's move looks shocking from the outside. People expected the Il-96 to quietly disappear. Instead, Russia kept it alive, not loudly, not dramatically, but strategically. That may be even more powerful. Of course, challenges remain huge. Production numbers are still low. Certification timelines are uncertain. Commercial airline demand is weak. The aircraft is expensive to operate, and reports show that long-term delivery plans have already been pushed further toward 2035 rather than quick mass production. This is not a miracle comeback story. It is a difficult industrial holding action, but sometimes holding the line matters more than expansion, because survival itself becomes victory. That is especially true in aerospace. The strongest move is not always launching a flashy new aircraft. Sometimes it is refusing to let your last wide-body platform die. That is what Russia is doing, and Boeing probably did not expect the Il-96 to become a strategic symbol instead of a commercial competitor. But that is exactly what happened. The aircraft is no longer judged only by passenger economics. It is judged by what it protects. Knowledge, factories, engine programs, future options. That is much bigger than ticket sales. So when people ask, Russia just made a shocking move for the Il-96, what happened? The answer is simple. Russia chose sovereignty over efficiency. It chose long-term aerospace survival over short-term airline profit. It chose to keep the door open for the future instead of closing it forever. That is not a normal aviation decision. That is a strategic national decision. And in that sense, the Il-96 may be doing exactly what it was always meant to do. Not dominate headlines, but protect capability. Now, the real question is this. Can Russia successfully transition from the 4-engine Il-96 into a true next-generation twin-engine wide-body, powered by engines like the PD-35? Or will the Il-96 remain the final chapter of Russia's classic wide-body era? That answer will shape the future of Russian long-haul aviation for decades. But one thing is already clear. This was never just about one airplane. It was about keeping an entire aerospace future alive. And sometimes, the most shocking move is not building something new, but refusing to let something important disappear. If you enjoyed this deep and informative aviation breakdown, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the Il-96 still has a future, or should Russia move completely toward a new twin-engine design? And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more powerful aviation documentaries and research-based aviation stories just like this. Because in aviation, sometimes survival is the biggest victory of all.